happy Monday. I'm Alex Zach with TPAC TV. I hope you all survived your Super Bowl parties last night. We have a great February episode planned for you guys. We're starting it off with Michelle Aravena from A Bronx Tale. Then we're going to speak to Demetria Kalodimos, who is going to be moderating, Bob Woodward, and then we are going to head over to Deacon's New South. But first, let's take a look at the shows we have coming up this month. This Thursday at War Memorial Auditorium, we have Nashville House Concerts presented by Lightning 100 and Roots Radio. It's going to be a great show. We hope you can all come out to it. February 10th, which is this Sunday, we have Bob Woodward over at War Memorial. We'll be speaking with Demetria a little later today. A Bronx Tale is coming to TPAC February 12th through the 17th. If you're under the age of 30, use code BRONX30 when purchasing tickets at tpac.org, and you'll receive them for only $30. Now, we're going to check out an interview that I did with Michelle Aravena, who plays Rosina in A Bronx Tale. Hey everybody, it's Alex Zach with TPAC TV, and today we are speaking with Michelle Aravena from A Bronx Tale, which will be here February 12th to the 17th. Hey Michelle, how are you?
I'm good, how are you? Excited to come to Nashville.
Yes, we're excited to have you. So when we do these on the road interviews, we always ask, where are you currently?
Tampa.
Tampa.
And I had to think about that for a second. We're in Tampa. This is our second week in Florida. We were just in Fort Myers. We're in Tampa. We go to Greenville next week, and then we hit Nashville.
So you're working your way back up north.
Absolutely, yep.
So when we're talking about A Bronx Tale, which we are so excited to have here in Nashville, everybody says it's West Side Story meets Jersey Boys. Can you tell us what that means a little bit?
Yeah, I think, we love Jersey Boys for its music, right? And I think I know when you come to see A Bronx Tale, you're going to hear a very similar sound. We definitely have that doo-wop kind of feel going on. Plus, we have a bunch of really great Italian characters running around the stage, which is very similar to Jersey Boys. And West Side Story, I think, just like our show, we're dealing with two sides of the neighborhood and a bit of forbidden love going on. So it's always such a compliment to hear our show compared to those two shows. I've done those two shows, and they're brilliant shows. And I'm really proud of what we did with Bronx Tale.
That's awesome. So you were in the Broadway company as the understudy for the role that you're currently in. And I know there's, I think, 11 people from the Broadway cast that are currently on tour with you guys.
I know, it's amazing.
That's incredible. And maybe a lot of people don't know that A Bronx Tale is based off of Chaz Palminteri's real life story of growing up in the Bronx. So what was that process like of, number one, portraying his mother and having him there? I mean, was he able to give you advice for how to...
Oh, yeah. Chaz was very, very much involved throughout the whole process. And I've been a fan of the movie since I was a kid, you know. And, there's always a certain kind of pressure that comes along with playing a real person, but at the same time, there's a certain kind of pride that comes with that as well, you know. And Chaz explained his mother like many Italian mothers or mothers in general, she was a strong woman with a huge heart, and she kept that family together. I like to say that she's kind of like the glue that keeps everything, happy and healthy in the household.
Yeah. So what was the biggest transition that you felt going from playing it on Broadway to now taking this character on the road?
Well, I've done this a couple times in my career where I've understudied the role in New York and then was able to take it on the road as my own. And I think, understudying is a very, very difficult job. Your job is to fill the shoes of the person who created the role, So what comes with that is a lot of boundaries. And when you get to take ownership of the role, you get to make it yours. And it's been a lovely process. I'm working with Richard Blake, who we worked together as kids, if you can believe that.
What?
So I know, isn't that crazy? We're having a great time, and we're finding our chemistry, and it's just been really, really fun.
That's incredible.
I know, I love the business for that. I love it.
I'm excited to see your guys' chemistry on stage when we get to Nashville this month. And also, you know, as we talked about, great cast. A lot of you were in the Broadway production, but there is an all-star creative team besides Chaz Palminteri behind this product. Can you tell us a little bit about the other people involved?
Yeah. You're going to think I'm lying when I tell you this lineup, but I'm not. It's kind of like one of those things you have to pinch yourself a little bit. So, yeah, Chaz Palminteri, who wrote the show, it started with the one-man show, and this is a story based on his life. And then the one-man show became a movie that he starred in next to Robert De Niro, who played the dad in the movie and also directed the movie. And so when they discussed, when they were in discussions about making it a musical, they wanted to bring Robert De Niro along as the director, but because it's a musical and he doesn't have much experience in that department, we brought in, you know, Broadway's Jerry Zaks, who's one of our most successful directors on Broadway.
Wow, yeah.
And so they co-directed that together, which was something that I've never had to do before in a show, and was kind of a cool thing to watch them collaborating. And then we have Sergio Trujillo, you know, the choreographer for, I mean, the list goes on and on, but Memphis, On Your Feet, Jersey Boys. We had Alan Menken and Glenn Slater do the music. And again, you know, Little Mermaid, Little Shop of Horrors, Sister Act. So yeah, this was a team that you did not want to pass up. You know, I think when you got the call that, you know, they wanted you to do Bronx Tale, it was a yes, right away.
I can imagine. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us from Tampa, and we can't wait to see you. A Bronx Tale will be here February 12th through the 17th, and tickets are available now at tpac.org.
Come see us, you'll love it. Bye.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for speaking with me. We cannot wait for you guys to get to Nashville. It's warmed up a little bit, so hopefully it won't be too far off from what you had in Tampa. Next up, we have Caitlin Alexander, who is a Belmont University journalism student, who is here to interview Demetria Kalodimos on a conversation with Bob Woodward happening right at War Memorial Auditorium on Sunday.
I'm Caitlin Alexander, and we are here at TPAC with Demetria Kalodimos. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks.
Well, just to get this started, what got you started with journalism? What made you want to pursue that career?
It's kind of funny. I didn't take a direct path into journalism. I kind of made a U-turn from studying music all my life. I thought I was going to be an orchestral musician. And about midway through my college courses, I discovered campus radio. And at the time, it was pretty vibrant. People were getting really experimental, and I actually had the first call-in show on my campus. So once the bug bit, so to speak, there was no stopping me. So I went straight into graduate school afterwards in journalism. But I never regretted having that music background. I think it's come in really handy in Music City, after all. And also there are a lot of musical elements, I think, to being in broadcast journalism.
Definitely. What made you want to pursue investigative journalism?
Oh, I think any reporter is, in their nature, curious, maybe even nosy. Wanting to dig down and get to the bottom of why something is happening or something that's happening that no one else knows about is probably the greatest feeling when you're a reporter. And I grew up in the 70s and watching Watergate unfold, and that was sort of the point where investigative reporting exploded. So that was my inspiration really from the start, and that's the part of the job I've enjoyed the most.
So speaking of Watergate, did Bob Woodward influence your decision to pursue investigative journalism?
I think Bob Woodward has influenced every journalist in America, if not in the world. And I'm really looking forward to being able to sit across from him. It's almost like being able to interview Superman. You know, where do you begin? The Superman of your field. But Woodward and Bernstein, you know, the two names go together. They're synonymous with the craft of investigative journalism. And the thing that really impresses me is here all these years later, Bob Woodward is still at the top of his game and putting out the work that everyone else is trying to achieve.
Yeah. What do you think of the legacy he's created for himself?
quite a legacy. I think he's got 9 books. I've been doing some of my research. He's covered 9 different White Houses. He's even written books off the subject of politics in Washington. I wasn't really aware that he had written a biography on John Belushi. So interesting, you know, sort of a wide range of subjects that he's been into, not just investigating politics and corruption and government.
Yeah. What are you most looking forward to when you moderate the conversation with him?
It's always great to sit this close to someone and sort of pick their brain and get into their process. As a journalist, I want to know a little bit about his process. He talks to so many people. He talks off the record and in secret with so many people. How does he keep those things together? How does he keep them secret in this day and time of cybersecurity worries? You know, does Bob Woodward even use a cell phone? These sort of questions, I think, are the kind of thing that a lot of people are curious about. And we're both from the Chicago area, so I think we'll hit it off pretty well. At least I hope so.
That sounds great. So circling back to you, what are some of the most important parts of your career that stick out to you, that have been the most influential to you?
Well, I think being able to stay in the same place for a long time. A lot of people jump from market to market or city to city, and just when they sort of get on a roll and figure out who's who and the movers and shakers, they move on. I've had a very fortunate situation here in Nashville to really watch the city grow, to watch some people go from the beginning of their political careers to very big things. I covered Al Gore's first congressional campaign. So it's kind of fun, and years later, I was there at the inauguration when he was vice president. So it's amazing how many stories start in Tennessee and move on to become very significant national stories. We've had a lot of big names.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, thank you, and I hope everyone comes out to see us at War Memorial. It's going to be fun.
Looking forward to it, yeah.
Thank you so much, Caitlin and Demetria. She will be over at War Memorial Auditorium with Bob Woodward this Sunday. Tickets are still available at WMARocks.com. Remember, the only official place to purchase tickets for TPAC or War Memorial Auditorium shows is tpac.org or WMARocks.com. Next up, we headed over to Deacon's New South to learn about their new A Bronx Tale prefixed menu. Let's go check it out. Alex Zach here with TPAC TV, and we are at the beautiful Deacon's New South restaurant right here in downtown Nashville. We're going to go meet with the executive chef to talk to us a little bit about the Bronx Tale menu coming this month. Let's go check it out. Hi, Chad.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much for being here.
We are so excited. We're at Deacon's New South. You guys haven't been open for that long, fairly new to the neighborhood.
Pretty much a little over a year.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to have you really close to TPAC, just around the corner.
Right around the corner, literally, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the restaurant.
So a little over a year since we've been open. Very focused on dry-aged steaks. We have a beautiful dry-aged steak room, very good fresh seafood program, a lot of seasonal sides. So yeah, we just focus on seasonality and fresh and quality ingredients.
Well, that sounds awesome. I passed by the meat locker on the way over here.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's extensive and big, and we really take pride in that for sure. Yeah.
This is one of the coolest locations downtown for sure.
You can't beat it. It's very centralized. It's in the middle of a lot of things. So.
Yeah, and you guys have so many different nooks and areas in this building, and there's a lot of different people. We just passed by eating lunch, so you guys do lunch, dinner.
Yep. Lunch, dinner, brunch on Saturday and Sunday. 2-for-1 mimosas is always great. You can't beat that.
Yeah, right? I'm gonna have to come check out those mimosas.
Please do.
So why don't you show us around the restaurant a little bit?
Let's do it. So this is our upstairs bar. We have another one downstairs. This is kind of a nice bar because it has our TV, so if there's a game on or something like that, you can come up here and watch the game.
Yeah.
It's a little bigger, some couches, a very, very nice lounge area for our guests.
And I assume you guys do a good happy hour?
Happy hour is great, 4 to 6. We do some really nice cocktails.
Yes, so what people may not know is A Bronx Tale coming this month to TPAC. It has a specialty menu right here at Deacon's New South.
Absolutely.
People can come, they can get the food, and then go see the show, which is awesome.
Perfect, yep.
But as you mentioned, there's specialty cocktails too.
Specialty cocktails, yeah. And Scott has an amazing drink for us that he's going to show us, and we're pretty excited about it.
So what I'm going to be making today is a New York Sour.
Okay.
It is basically a whiskey sour with just a little floating of red wine on top.
Ooh.
I am going to be making it with an egg white, so it's going to have a real nice silky, frothy texture. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with 2 ounces of our Buffalo Trace bourbon. All right. I'm going to use 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. 3/4 ounce of simple syrup, just sugar and water. Now to make this egg white cocktail, what we're gonna do is we're gonna dry shake it first. Get the egg white out there. So after the dry shaking, I'm gonna add 2 ice cubes. So that's gonna chill it, make it cold, but not enough to dilute it to where you still get that frothiness and that texture. Strain this. All right, and then I'm gonna float about 3/4 of an ounce of red wine on top. And here we have the New York Sour.
New York Sour is on point. You can get this as well as a couple other cocktail options with the Bronx Tale menu. And what are the dates that people can come and get this cocktail?
So it's February 5th through the 17th.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
3-course menu. We're starting with an arugula prosciutto salad. It's gonna have figs and some saba. Second course is a chicken manicotti with also bolognese, butcher and bolognese that we use with a lot of our dry aged trim. And then we have a dessert, which is we're calling the Bronx Blackout Cake.
Ooh.
So it's gonna be, it's kind of a twist on the Brooklyn Blackout Cake, but we're tweaking it out a little bit to make it special for this menu.
I love it.
Yeah.
So let's go check out another part of the restaurant.
Let's do it.
So tell me about this awesome kitchen.
So, focal point, we have a beautiful wood-fired grill. We do all our steaks on.
Wow.
You know, the dried steaks come off this, our pork, some of our fish. We hang a lot of things up there to smoke as well. So, yeah, it's our passion here. So, take pride in it.
Definitely. And we will be back to check out the Bronx Tale menu
Wonderful.
very soon,
Wonderful.
February 5th to the 17th.
Yes.
And thank you so much for showing us around your restaurant. And
Welcome. Thanks for coming.
yeah, welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you so much.
There you have it, folks. Thanks to Chad and Scott for showing us around the restaurant. The Bronx Tale menu will be here February 5th to the 17th. You're definitely going to want to check it out before coming to see the show. We'll see you guys later. Thank you so much to Chad and Scott for showing us around Deacon's New South. You guys will have to check out the A Bronx Tale menu, which is starting this week through the run of A Bronx Tale February 17th. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this afternoon, and we like to end every show with something we're excited about happening in Nashville this month. I couldn't do a show without talking about Girl Scout cookies. Everyone, you see them out and about. Go support your local troops. Buy yourself some Girl Scout cookies. My favorite are Samoa's if you want to grab me a box. And we will see you in March for a great TPAC education-based episode. See you then.